important because you want to strive for everyone to reach a common goal. It might not be the same exact goal, but you want to have them heading in the same direction. Now, the first thing when I got this subject, I was like, is there really a difference between goal setting and targeting? Doesn't seem like there's that much of a difference. So I had to look that up a lot because even in the definitions of the two, they're not really that different. They're slightly different, as I'll get into in a second. The main two differences I found were in a target, you don't have most of the influence over it. And in a goal, you have a lot of influence, if not all of the influence over it. Your work will describe whether or not you completed that goal or did not. The target, outside factors can be a bigger factor. And as I said, goals are either yes or no. So one of the differences is if you're, this is the leaderboard from the Masters this year. Jordan Spieth, his goal was definitely to win it, so he did not achieve his goal. But for someone like J.D. Holmes, who wasn't really expected to do that well, he might have just targeted top 10. Doesn't matter what anyone else does, as long as I do well, I'll be happy. So now we go into goals. Goals have to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed. This is really important because to be able to achieve them, you have to have all these things. So specific. If you have a vague goal, it's really hard to accomplish it. You don't really have a specific yes or no, did I accomplish it? You don't have a narrow focus on it, and that's really important in setting a goal so you can actually achieve it, and so it's an actual goal. Measurable, you have to be able to see, this ties right in with specific, you have to be able to see if you completed it or not. If your goal is really vague, you're not going to be able to measure it. If you can't measure if you succeeded in your goal or not, it's not a very good goal because you don't have enough drive to finish it, would be the correlation there. It must be achievable. It can't be like solve world hunger. You're not going to do that. One person's not going to do that. So you have to, like, run a 5K is a better goal because you can actually accomplish that. Or I actually couldn't do that, but most people probably could. But if your goal is not achievable, it will just destroy your work performance as a whole. And one of the most important ones I think is relevance. If your goal has nothing to do with your job, what's the point of it? So that's why your goal has to be relevant. It can't be like this elephant on the slide here. It's not relevant to the slide at all. It doesn't really mean anything. So you want to make sure your goals actually help you achieve the goals of the company or what you want to do. And time frames. You want to be able to have a specific date or amount of time where you have to complete this goal or finish it. A lot of these things also matter in targeting as well, but this is the big one for goal setting. Like, by Friday, I want to meet this person. By Saturday, I want to meet this person. So targeting, when I think of targeting, I think of the NFL and college football, if you get kicked out for targeting, but that's not exactly what this is. So targeting should be based on qualitative and quantitative evidence, like it says on the slide, meaning it has to actually, you have to be achieving something and you have to be able to show that. It's not too different from goal setting, which is why it's really hard to differentiate between the two. So, Cottonmouth. As this slide said, it needs to have a particular quality in it. So as I've been saying, there's a lot of similarities in these, and you can have a goal that helps you achieve a target, and then that target could be helping you achieve a goal. It can go, they can help each other, it goes vice versa. If you want to meet somebody as your goal, and eventually that leads to you having a target, as I'll get into that later though. So they're important because they can make you focus. They make you focus on your job a lot better. And should have more on the slide. And it'll tie into what Steve was talking about earlier. It creates motivation. Having goals, Steve was saying, it's a great way to get someone motivated. And it's also a great way to prevent procrastination. It's something I struggle with by myself a lot. So if you have a particular goal or target, you'll be able to focus and strive towards it, and you'll hopefully procrastinate less, as I've been finding recently. So for the new and used section, I currently work with CDWG as a campus intern here at Rowan. I have a lot of goals and targets every week, and overall goals that I have to accomplish, and I had to set, within 90 days of starting there, I had to set my personal goals and targets for the year. So this is just a sample of every week I have to email my supervisor and my 2 account managers what are my goals for the week. Some of these are really just activities that I'm accomplishing, but I'll go into the first one more in detail. Getting a meeting with the guy Mark scheduled in the IT department here. So this goal has to be SMART, specific, get a meeting scheduled. It's really specific. Measurable, at the end of the week did I get the meeting scheduled? Achievable, I'm pretty sure this guy's gonna be able to meet with me. Relevant, it's important for me to have this meeting because I wanna get involved in this section of the school, yada yada. And time frame, I have to have that done from Monday to Friday. Now for targets, me at work, I have a target of getting the account, to have the account grow by 50% or more. There's not really a time frame where I have to get that done, and I can't really control whether or not somebody purchases something from us or not, so I don't have a lot of influence on it, but my target is to grow it by 50% of what it was when I started there.
What's up, guys? I'm Eric, and I'm going to be talking about coaching and development. So first off, I'm sure we all know what a coach is. I'm sure we've all had coaches, but a coach is someone who prompts or trains with instruction. We've all had coaches, whether it be through sports or through work, but they basically just want to try to help you become a better person at whatever it is that you're trying to do. But like I said, a coach can be a football coach, they can be through work, like a manager, or sometimes companies hire outside coaches to come into the company and help you out. I found, through my research, I found that those outside coaches weren't as successful because they don't know the company as well. But development is the state of growth or advancement, and to develop and become better should be the overall goal for you at work. I mean, we also talked about targeting and goal setting, but when you develop and become better, it'll be easier for you to hit your goals and targets. Now, coaching and development are very closely related. Coaches help you become a better person and become better at whatever it is you're doing and develop the skills necessary for you to do your job or whatever it is better. So why coaching is important? As I said, develop skills and abilities. Whether it's a new skill or a skill that you already have that you just want to improve on, coaching can help you out. And also within a workplace, coaching can help boost performance if they become better at whatever it is they're doing. And there's 3 main rules of coaching that I found. The first is coaching is founded on confidentiality and trust. Second, solution to the coach's issues. The coachee's issue lies within the coachee. And finally, there is no judgment. So the first one, coaching is founded on confidentiality and trust. I thought this was very important. You have to discuss all the aspects of the issue or challenge that there is presented. You can't shy away from harsh issues or something that you don't necessarily want to talk about. And it's also very important to keep it private and confidential so they have your trust in the future. Second, we have the solution to the coachee's issue lie within the coachee. So this is basically saying that the person being coached already knows all the background and the options that they have to take about the issue. Then the coach just has to ask the right questions and basically prod out the answer from the person being coached. And finally, there is no judgment. The coach is basically just there to help out, and they really shouldn't be judging anyone for whatever their issue is or whatever they need help with or help on. So it's important to hold frequent coaching meetings. This helps you build a relationship with whoever it is that's being coached. If they know you better, they will open up about more things and be more willing to meet with you and go in depth about certain topics. Second, work on your coaching skills. Every good coach needs skills. They need to be able to encourage, support, and guide the person being coached. Without those three things, that the coachee will never be able to become better and develop. Plan, prepare before the meeting. You have to know the situation that you're getting involved with beforehand, so you're not just going in blind. If you do go in blind, then you might not know what to say or exactly how to help them. But if you come in with a plan, you will be able to have some ideas beforehand so that you're prepared. And finally, provide feedback. Feedback is one of the best ways to help develop and become better. They will know what they can do better in the future to develop their skills, as well as help with the company as well. Guide the employee, basically just help with their problems, lay out all the scenarios that they could go with, and listen to them about what they need, what they're saying to you, and communicate with them with what they should do, or some of the options that they could follow with. All right, I found mentoring to be very closely related with coaching. Mentoring centers on a relationship between an employee and a colleague with expertise. I just thought of a mentor as a kind of coach, but it's more personal and one-on-one. The benefits of a mentor is you learn better. If you have someone right there with you that has experience in the industry or whatever it is you're doing, you will learn better and quicker. It's someone to share your ideas and thoughts with. They might not think of some of the ideas that you have. And it's someone to ask questions. If you have a question, they will help you out with it. And benefits to the mentor is they get to share and impart their knowledge on the person they're mentoring. They get a different viewpoint on the whatever that it is they are doing, and it enhances their leadership capabilities. Finally, for my new and you, I was an intern with the YMCA, and I was working directly with the chief financial officer every day. So I saw him as a mentor to me because I would do all of the activities that he was doing as well. Whether that be budget work or investing, whatever it was, I was there doing with him. And then he was also a coach to me because every week we would have a little meeting at the end of the week to discuss everything that I did and how I can improve and what I was doing right and how to be better in the future.
We got here. So my name's Anthony. My name's Anthony. For those that don't know, I'm going to be talking to you about the evaluation session of performance management. All right. So although many employees have come to dread the annual evaluation session, at which a boss picks apart the employees' behaviors and apparent attitudes from the past year, performance management can potentially deliver many benefits. And I'm going to be talking about those benefits and how the evaluation comes into play. So effective performance management can tell top performers that they are valued. It can encourage communication between managers and their employees. It can establish uniform standards for evaluating employees. And it can also help the organization identify its strongest and weakest performers. So performance management includes several activities, which are defining performance, measuring performance, and feeding back performance information. I'm going to be talking to you about the last part, which is the evaluation session. All right, so the evaluation session, properly done, meets an ethical obligation of leadership by providing information that all members of the organization want to know. So, in order to succeed. So, what is it you expect of me, and how am I doing at meeting your expectations? Are good questions. Okay, so the first process of the performance management is the organization specifies which aspects of performance are relevant to the organization. So they look at how they want the organization to be run and the people in it, and how they want it to